Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down my must-stream defenses for week number 1 of the 2022 fantasy football season. Inside today's video, we'll begin by breaking down 3 defenses that I believe that you guys should be streaming because they are incredibly safe options in week number 1, and then about halfway into the video, we'll be pivoting into 3 defenses that are boom or bust for week number 1. These are defenses that I believe have the upside to finish as top 5 defenses on the week, but they're not as safe as the safe ones. They are a little bit risky, but before we could get into things, I would like to ask that if you guys are new to the channel and you do end up enjoying today's video, to please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. And while you're down there, whether you are new to the channel or not, please make sure that you do leave a like on today's video. It would help us out a ton. And if you would like to follow me on Twitter, please do so at Notorious FNTSY. So without further ado, let's break down my top defenses to stream in week number 1. We begin with the safe defenses to stream for week number 1, headlined by the Baltimore Ravens at the New York Jumbo Jets. As a big revenge game person myself, nothing would make me happier than seeing Joe Flacco absolutely obliterate the Baltimore Ravens defense. But as someone who needs to be realistic on what is actually going to unfold and happen on Sunday, the Baltimore Ravens defense is going to be all over Joe Flacco. And Flacco looked downright horrendous in preseason week number 3 up against the Giants. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I honestly think the Jets should start NFL legend Mike White because he will give them a better chance to win than Flacco does. This Jets team has some solid pass catchers on it, right? They've got Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson, who in the future could be a feared duo in the NFL. But the fact that Joe Flacco looks like Stevie fucking Wonder in the pocket minimizes what those wide receivers can do. If you need any other reasoning on why the Jets offense is going to be dog shit in week number 1 with Flacco under center, the books have the Ravens as 7-point favorites, and if I'm being honest with you, I think the Ravens should be 10-point favorites because this game is going to be light work for the team. After this matchup up against the Jets, the Ravens face the Dolphins, Patriots, and Buffalo Bills, so they go through the whole AFC East. And those are likely to be tough matchups for the Ravens defense, so make sure that you end up dropping them and look for a new defense before week 2. Next up, we'll move to the Denver Broncos at the Seattle Seahawks, and I love this matchup for the Broncos defense, and I had a very tough time determining which defense I wanted to list as number 1 in terms of safety between the Ravens and the Denver Broncos. Nothing screams safety for a defense like facing up against fucking Geno Smith, especially since the Broncos defense on paper is very, very strong. The Broncos are currently 6.5-point favorites in this game, which makes them one of the biggest favorites in all of week number 1 on Monday Night Football. I expect Geno Smith to struggle immensely, and the Broncos defense to put them in the dirt at least a few times in this game, elevating the potential for them to finish as a top 5 defense at the end of the week. Next week, they go up against the Texans in Denver, meaning that you should hold them through week 2. After that, though, they do face the 49ers in week number 3, and that is a clear stay away matchup. So for week 1 and week 2, I'm very excited about the Broncos defense. Next up, we move to my third defense to stream in today's video, according to how safe I believe they are, and then we're going to move on into the boom or bust defense. The final defense here is going to be the Carolina Panthers versus the Cleveland Browns at home in Carolina. In the version I made of this video a couple of days ago, I discussed the Browns defense as a waiver wire ad, which I still agree. I still think that the Browns defense is a wise waiver wire ad or a wise defense to draft, because of their matchups for the first 4 games of the season, including this game. But would it surprise me at all if the Carolina Panthers defense outscored the Browns in week number 1? Not at all. Jacoby Brissett is about as useful as a used condom, so I truly believe that the Panthers, who have a solid defense, could keep the scoring in this game to a minimum. My only worry in this game for the defense of the Carolina Panthers is 9-inch Nicholas Chubb, and the fact that 9-inch Nicholas Chubb could just go crazy in this game. Though at some point, if the Panthers are competitive in this game and they are up in the game, then the Browns can only run the ball for so long until they have to turn to Jacoby Brissett, which can lead to even more bad things and great things, technically, for the Panthers defense. The Panthers also play the Giants in MetLife next week, which makes them a great defense to hold on to going into week number 2. Before we move on into the boom or bust defense section of today's video to be streaming for week number 1, I would like to give you guys a quick word from our friends and our sponsor who have been on your screen this entire video right below me, Drafters. Are you already signed up for Underdog and need more action? Are you looking for softer best ball contests? Then look no further than our new partnership with Drafters Fantasy Sports. For a limited time, make your first deposit of up to $100 and Drafters will match it. So you deposit $100, they will give you an additional $100. And to claim, all you gotta do is click on the link in the video description down below or use promo code Stokastic to activate this offer. Drafter features its $1 million best ball championship with $250,000 going to first place. We are definitely expecting some overlay with this contest, so now is the time to enter. Head on over to drafters.com or download in the App Store or Google Play Store to get started today. Back on into things, we move to the boom or bust defense section of today's video for week number 1, and we're going to start with two teams that are playing up against each other, and if I'm being honest with you, I like both of these defenses, the Miami Dolphins versus the New England Patriots, and the New England Patriots at the Miami Dolphins. Now, this is a very, very, very interesting game on paper, in my opinion. The Dolphins are the favorite in this game, but both of these teams have pretty solid defenses. The argument I will make for the Miami Dolphins defense being a waiver wire pickup up against the Patriots offense is that the Patriots offense has looked terrible. In preseason against the Raiders, Mac Jones threw an interception into 6 defenders, and there has been a lot of reports out of training camp that things are looking very bad. That Mac Jones is struggling because the play calling on the team is so bad. And if the offense can't get out on the right foot, then I really do think that the Dolphins defense is going to suffocate them. We saw this last year. The Dolphins defense played amazing up against the Patriots offense, even when the Patriots offense was looking pretty solid. Now, you could attribute that to Brian Flores, but the defensive coordinator of the team is set out to do exactly what Brian Flores was doing, run the exact same defensive scheme, and I think Bill Belichick and Mac Jones are going to struggle immensely against that strategy, up against that game plan, so I love the Dolphins defense this week. Now we'll make the argument for the other team, the Patriots going up against the Dolphins offense. This is the first ever NFL regular season game that head coach Mike McDaniel will be coaching. Could there be first game jitters? Could Tua struggle immensely? And could this offensive line upgrade not mean as much as some think it will? We will see. The reason why I like the Patriots defense here up against the Dolphins is this game could be sneaky low scoring because this is an AFC East battle and typically these teams are able to keep things close. I think the Patriots defense is pretty good. It's not as good as the last couple of years, but on paper they are still pretty good. And we do know that Tua at points could definitely struggle. I think Tyreek Hill is going to help him out, but if you do need a defense to pick up, I think there are a lot worse options than the Patriots up against the Dolphins. So the Dolphins after this game will be facing the Baltimore Ravens, and last time the Miami Dolphins played the Ravens, they absolutely destroyed Lamar Jackson. But to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to chance it and play them in week number 2. For the Patriots, they get the Steelers next week in Pittsburgh. Based upon how the defense looks up against Tua and the Dolphins, if they play well, I think I'd roll them out up against the Steelers. If they don't look so hot, then I'd probably just end up cutting them at the end of the week. And then we'll move on into the final boom or bust defense. The final defense to discuss in today's video is the Washington Commanders going up against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home in Washington to what should be at least 12 fans. Just reading the sentence, Washington Commanders versus the Jacksonville Jaguars, makes me want to throw up. I've been so excited about week number 1, and the NFL basically slapped me backhand, forehand, backhand, like the Key and Peele sketch, just right in the face. It sucks, but hey, still football. And that doesn't mean, just because I think the game sucks, that the Washington defense can't play good in this game. Even without Chase Young, the vital player in the Washington defense, I think they could still pressure Trevor Lawrence, leading to potential turnovers. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to look significantly better in 2022 when compared to 2021. But is it possible that the Washington defense makes Trevor Lawrence start slow? that they could put Trevor Lawrence on his ass, leading to potential interceptions, because Lawrence was a fucking interception machine last year. So I'm interested in the Commanders' defense. And this game is also expected to be low scoring by me, as well as by Vegas, as the total is currently set at 44. Washington is also available in basically every single league, so it's a lock that you're going to be able to pick them up unless you're in like some 32-team league where people have the Washington defense. Next week, they face the Lions in Detroit, so I would probably drop them after this game. I know the Lions in the past haven't been this feared offense, but I really think their offense has turned the other page, and I think that the Detroit offense is going to be pretty solid this season. So thank you guys all so much for watching today's video. If you did end up enjoying, please make sure that you hit that like button as well as that subscribe button down below. And if you have any questions about defenses for week number 1, say some of these defenses aren't available, I understand they're not available in every single league, then make sure you ask in the comment section. I will respond to you and tell you which defense you should be picking up and starting in week number 1. I will see you guys later with some more videos. I love you guys all so much. Make sure you check out Drafters, promo code Stokastic for that $100 first match deposit bonus. I love you guys. Hope you have a great rest of your guys' day. And as always, good boy!